Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. This is Whimsical Thread Creations. I'm Jamie, and today I have a little yarn haul. Now, the only problem with this is it has been opened, and that is because my dad grabbed the bag, as one does, and just ripped it without thinking about it. So I'm going to unbox my yarn that I got because Joann's has left us, is leaving us. Joann's is no longer. So in order to get a handle on what I want to use instead of the Joann's yarn that I have been relying on, I picked up a few things. Now, I got a few things from Michael's last time I was in the store in Michael's in anticipation of this, and I will talk more about that later sometime. But for the time being, we're going to talk about the yarn that I got from Premier. So all this is Premier yarn. I've heard that's a really good alternative to Big Twist, in general, that it's a pretty good option. I did a little bit of testing with some of the Loops and Threads Impeccable and Loops and Threads Loops and Threads Soft Classic, if I could talk. But I did some testing with those for the stuff that I make with acrylic yarn, and it's just not as soft as I need it to be. It's just not to the standard that I want for the stuff that I'm making. So we're going to try out some Premier yarn. And in this, I picked up 3 skeins of the Premier Basics in just plain colors. So I got Royal Blue, which I'm a big fan of blue in general, so I feel like that will work really well. And then I picked up 2 of the, just normal, base colors. I have plenty right now of the Big Twist Value because I got Big Twist Value Pound Plus skeins of the yarn that I use. And so I just wanted to get these because I use these colors all the time for 1.5 million different things, including projects just for me. So these are the colors I picked up. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes with those. Now, I'll go through the other thing that I got with the Premier Basics is this Premier Basics what color is this? This is the color Impressionist. I think that this will make some very pretty hats, and feeling the yarn, it feels fairly soft, so I'm hoping that it will be a good replacement for the Big Twist Value that I've been using. Now, Big Twist Value is not the only yarn that I use from, Big Twist. So, one of the other things I got is this Premier Everyday. It's anti-pilling. This color is Bright Violet. This is also a medium 4-weight yarn, and this is 100% anti-pilling acrylic, which I use a lot of Loops and Threads Big Twist Living. I know my yarn, but I use a lot of Big Twist Living for smaller items and things that aren't knit. I crochet a lot with Big Twist Living, and I need to find something to replace it. So this is actually the first thing I'm going to be testing. I'm going to be making probably an ear warmer with this. because I have a crochet ear warmer pattern that I really like, that I use quite often, and I feel like this would be a good one. Like, that's be a good way to test it, so I don't have to make like a whole of something else. And yeah, I feel like that will be a good test to see if this can be a replacement for the Big Twist Living specifically. I do really like how soft this is. Like, it feels really soft, like, in my hands, and I'm very happy about that. Finding soft acrylic is not always the easiest thing in the world, and like, I have very sensitive skin. I've always had very sensitive skin. If something is not the right kind of softness, I can tell. So hopefully this will work. We'll see. This is actually what I'm going to be leaving out over here because I'm going to be using it when I'm done here. So one of the other things that I use all the time is the K&C cotton. So I picked up this Premier Cotton Sprouts Skein here in the color Fruit Punch. And yeah, I'm hoping that this, because it is 100% cotton, it's also very soft. Like, it's a very, very soft cotton. I'm hoping that I'll be able to use this to make a lot of the kitchen items that I make, because I make a lot of stuff out of 100% cotton, and I do have a pretty good supply, like, stock of cotton in general. And I use both DK and worsted weight cotton, like, all the time, which is 3 and 4 weight. I use both of them a lot, and this Cotton Sprouts I saw has both, like, a DK version and a worsted version. This is the worsted version, which I'm liking it. I wanted to go with, like, a fun color that I don't usually use, and this is definitely not a color that I would have, like, naturally been drawn to, like, on my own, just in general. So I'm kind of, like, I'm excited to see how it works up. I'm excited to see what happens with it. I think it's a very fun mix, a very summery mix. I hope that it works well. Ooh. So yeah, those are the ones that I got, like, for business stuff. Now, I did also need to spend like $6 or $8 more to get free shipping. So I got a little something for myself, just for me, just for fun as well. I picked up 2 of the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Gradient Cakes in this very, very pretty purple. Now, I have just recently made my first ever virus shawl pattern shawl. Well, actually, I'm almost done with it. So I thought that one in this colorway would be so pretty, and I wanted to try making one in acrylic yarn instead of in either the bamboo blend that I use or cotton, because most of the shawls that I've made, and by most I mean all of the shawls that I have made up to this point, have all either been in bamboo blend yarn or an 100% cotton. So I figured that this would be a very fun way to, like, change it up a little bit. You know, like, just make something that's a little bit different. I can do something pretty fun. I did get 2 of this. It is the color Purple Tones. I did get 2 of them because this is only 360 yards or 330 meters, which usually for, like, shawls and stuff, I want more than that, which I don't usually make them out of worsted weight yarn, so I might be fiddling with it a little bit there anyway. I want it to be kind of lacy. I'll probably size up my hook quite a bit, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I just went ahead and grabbed 2 of them. If nothing else, I can make 2 shawls or 2 something, and it could look really cool. It could end up being, like, really nice, and, like, I really like the phasing of this. I've been seeing this one specifically on my Instagram feed all over the place. And I wanted one so bad. So when I saw that I needed just a little bit more to get free shipping, I said, you know what? I want to get something for me too. So I got something for me. This will be something that I'm probably going to start relatively soon. I do want to finish my virus shawl that I'm making right now first. It's coming along nicely. It's honestly giving like sunset vibes with how it's coming into like the indigos here. I'm using a Black Friday cotton cake for this, and I'm getting pretty close. I got to the point in doing this where I wanted to size up my hook a little bit, just like as a personal preference thing. I've made quite a few triangle shaped things, quite a few shawls and stuff, so at a certain point I prefer to just size up my hook a little bit and like make it a little bit more lacy on the ends. I'll probably end up sizing up again before it is all the way over, but yeah. So that's my little yarn haul. That's where we're at right now. And I'm gonna go crochet up some stuff with this. Okay, so tiny update, which like I'm actually literally ready to sew, and I figured I should probably give an update first. But this is what we're looking like. It's nice and stretchy. It works up almost exactly like the Big Twist Living, which I am very happy about. So honestly, I'm really happy with this. We shall see if I continue to be happy once I get it like actually sewn together and all that good stuff, because I haven't done that part yet. But so far I'm having good thoughts about this. I feel like this could be a good replacement for the Big Twist Living specifically. Now they don't have the pride colors or anything like that that I like, but who's to say they won't have them in the future or won't have something similar enough that I can use it for my subtle pride beanie options. So I am happy with where we're at so far, and that's my little update. I will sew this bad boy together and then show you a finished ear warmer. Okay, so Twisted Ear Warmer has been completed. I like the way it's sewed together. I feel like the sewing part is always a little bit hit or miss with yarns in general, especially because these are yarns that I did not get to like feel before purchasing. And I'm very happy with where we're at with this right now. I feel like this definitely works. It has like the right amount of stretch that's not too much, and I'm happy with it. Let's just go ahead and do a... Obviously, this is not something that is meant for my hair type, but I think it has the right amount of stretch to it, which is what I really wanted to test, and I'm really happy with where we're at right now, so we shall see if these continue to be good, or if we might have some others that are a little bit of flops. Stay tuned. Okay, so it's been a hot second since I filmed the first part of this. I kind of took a break. Life got a little crazy. It happens. We're back. While I was gone, I did some yarn testing. And, yeah. Suffice to say, It was very fun. I used the virus shawl pattern to make a little virus shawl. It's very heavy, like I wanted a very heavy shawl. And I think if I make any more of these, I will use 3 cakes instead of 2 in the Premier Ombre yarn that I used. But I'm happy with how it came out. I'm happy with what's happened. I absolutely love the color transition. It makes me very happy. And I did leave it so if I want to, I can add another cake to it without any problems. It'd just be a matter of attaching some yarn and keeping her going. So now that things are back to being normal enough, I'm gonna go ahead and do some beanie knitting. I know, we're all shocked. Every one of us is surprised that I, in fact, do want to knit a beanie. Everyone is equally as surprised that I, in fact, am sticking to my beanie roots. But I have some Premier normal basic yarn in the acrylic that I want to try, and I want to try it 2 ways. So I very specifically got a very pretty blue. I've shown it here before. I did an unboxing, all that good stuff. But I have this very pretty blue, and I'm going to pair it up with one of the solid colors, or like the basic neutrals that I got. And I'm going to do it with the Premier yarn and then with the Big Twist yarn. I don't know why I blanked on that, but here we are. So yeah, I'm basically going to try it twice because I want to see if it will work to mesh with the Big Twist that I already have, basically, because I have 3 of the Pound Plus cakes, or they're not cakes, they're skeins. I have 3 of those for each of the 3 basic neutrals that I use for beanies. And obviously those will last longer than my somewhat pitiful stash of basic color Big Twist yarns. But if it works well with the Premier yarn, like they feel good together, because they do feel very similar. They don't feel exactly the same. Big Twist is just a skosh softer. But I think if they fit well together, then I won't have any problems, and I can just use those as my custom color options moving forward, and then I can use what I have for my stash over there as like pre-made, you can have one or you can't sort of things. So I think that's where we're at. I think that's what we're doing. I think that's the vibe for right now. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll check back in when I have actual more updates. Because yeah, I think that's all I've really done. Oh, I lied. I tested some cotton yarn. Ignore the fact that I, for some reason, left a really, really long tail. But I make pan protectors with this pattern. I've seen it other places, but I came up with this one specific. Like, I came up with this one myself before I've seen it other places, but it's basically a granny square with some extra steps. So it's not like it's the world's most ingenious invention. I am sure other people also have patterns for this. I just happened to come up with this one off my own noggin at some point. No, I don't have it actually written out. My pattern notes for this are just things like corners, yes. Literally after the first 3 rounds, it's just corners yes or corners no for my instructions. Because I know what that means. That's the only information I need to know how to make this. But anyone else, yeah, that's not going to work for them. But I tried cotton. I tried specifically this Cotton Sprout worsted multi yarn, and I did like working with it. It was really nice, but this is not a worsted cotton. Like, this is not worsted weight cotton. Like, this just, it's very thin. I don't know if I can show you or not, but it is just, I don't know. Can you see that? Ignore the fact I have paint on my hand, apparently. I was painting this evening. But yeah, it's not a true worsted weight cotton, and it has to be for this pattern to make all the measurements make sense. So that's not going to be a good replacement for the KNC cotton, which sucks, but this is really nice cotton. Like, it's not bad cotton, it's just not what I need for the purposes of what I'm doing, basically. Because I really don't want to have to go through and finagle with it and change how many rows I have to do for each of the sizes, because I already want to add more sizes, and if I use the right size cotton, then I add 2 rows and it adds basically 2 inches with the border, which I did use other cotton that I got, and that worked really well, but I will talk about that later because I don't have it with me, and I just really don't want to go get it. So I think it's still in my go bag downstairs for when I go to my grandparents' house. So I am not going to do that right now, but I will talk about that at a later date sometime when I have it with me for realsies. And now I think that is actually all I have to update you about right this second. On to some testing. So, new day, new YouTuber merch, apparently. I realized when I was watching back the footage that I've been taking, right, that everything I filmed for this so far has been in a different piece of merch. So, y'all know I'm a certified fan, okay? I'm a fan. What can I say? So far I have gotten this far on my test here. I realized after I cast this on that it is low-key the football team colors for my state. The Colts. The Colts. It's the Colts. But yeah, I live in Indiana, so I didn't think about that until I cast it on, and I was like, yikes. Can't be accused of being a sports fan. Not the point. So I've gotten, I don't know, this much done. And the blue is Premier yarn. Alright, and the blue over here, Premier. This is the Big Twist, the white. And so far, the only difference is that the Premier yarn is just a skosh thicker. Not enough that it's really making a difference while I'm working with it, but it is, like, visually, you can tell that it's just the tiniest bit thicker. I don't think that it will affect anything, like, moving forward, but I will check in when I have more to actually show you. In the meantime, I'm going to watch Chicago Med and knit. We have updates. So, I've been having some pain, and because of my some pain, I have not gotten very much knitting done. I have, however, decided that I do really, really like the Premier Basics. I'm very, very happy with how it's working up. I'm very, very pleased with the way that it is interacting with my Big Twist yarn. I think that it's gonna work. I think that I have found a solution to my unfortunate Joanne's is dying problem, and I'm happy with where we're at right now. I don't know if I'm going to get to finishing this beanie through the course of this video, simply because of the pains. Unfortunately, it does make it very, very hard for me to do anything because of the ouching. However, I have been crocheting because, generally speaking, crochet does not hurt as bad as knitting does. Knitting, it uses muscles in just a little bit of a different way. I don't have as big of a tolerance built up for those motions, just in general. And I also move less when I'm crocheting, I guess, just because of the way that I personally, hold my stuff. I'm moving my fingers I don't know. I am not a knitter by trade. I guess technically I am now, but I'm not a knit guy, right? I'm a crochet guy. That's my thing. I know that it seems like I'm a knit guy from what I have been putting out so far. However, I am a crochet guy. That is my thing. We love crochet in this house. We love knitting in this house too. However, I am a crochet person. And I have been making a blanket shawl. I very specifically am looking to add blanket shawls in particular to my repertoire of things that I sell in general. I feel like it would be a good addition to what I have. And mayhaps I might take out some of the things that don't necessarily sell so well, or there just isn't as much interest for them at this moment, depending on what they are. But I want a blanket shawl, and so I'm going to crochet one. I have this much of one done so far. I am using worsted weight yarn. It is acrylic, because again, blanket, right there in the name. And this is a 6.5mm hook. It is a clover hook. I have been converted. I really like the prim hooks too. I just don't like that they're all plastic, because I crochet a lot, and I know at a certain point I'm going to have to replace this hook, because this one, it's also plastic. They don't make this specific kind with the metal instead, which is very frustrating for me, because I literally warped both my 4.5 and 5mm prim hooks that I had. I don't think I have them with me up here, but I warped them. I crocheted so much with them for so long that the coating, the protective coating on the plastic, wore away, and the plastic started wearing down. So yeah, I try to stick to metal hooks when I can, simply for the fact that I crochet a lot and I crochet tight. I have found that my tension is very, very tight when I crochet. It's looser when I knit. My tension is a lot different when I knit. I don't know why my tension is so tight when I crochet, because I don't consciously put a lot of tension into it, but I don't. This is how I hold my yarn when I am crocheting. It's just between my fingers to steady it. It's not to pull it tight, I guess. But I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things, I guess. And yeah. So I'm gonna be using this. It's Loops and Threads Soft Classic. The color is Bo Peep Multi. This one specifically I am going to sell to someone who wants it. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to sell it for yet. I'm not timing myself, but I'm keeping a rough estimate of how long it's taking me. in addition to, you know, baseline materials costs and all that good stuff. But yeah, this one is going to be sent to someone who wants it. Pink is not a good color for me specifically. Same with red. They're just not great for my skin tone, skin complexion. I have a lot of like red, pink undertones and everything. It just makes me look weird. Not for me. And that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. It's just not my color. And that's alright. So, instead it's going to go to someone who will love it. And the plan, as of right now, is to get all the colored bits done and then circle back and use some gray, because in this, let's see here. See, there's gray right there. I have a gray that matches it kind of alright. It's not 100% exact, but it's very, very close. And it's close enough that if you're looking at it from further away, you're not really going to be able to tell, which is exactly what I wanted, because I don't have this exact shade of gray, like down to the millimeter shade. However, I do have one that's very, very close in my stash, and that will work perfectly for the purposes of what I am doing, which is what I want. So yeah, I'm going to end up using the gray to finish it out until it is like a full blanket shawl. She can be fully blanketed up in shawl form. Because I don't know about y'all, but I happen to work an office job, and it gets cold in that office. The AC is on, and it is cold. Okay? It's just cold. I need a blanket shawl. Not this specific one, but I'm gonna need one myself, and what better way to start than to start with one for someone else, because these are the colors that I have. So I will check back in for a final update soon. I think one, maybe two more updates. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so welcome to the final updates that I'm having for this video, because I'm pretty sure if I have any more clips that are as long as I'm sure this one is going to be, editor knees might have my head. They might just yoink it off. I don't know what to tell you. I've sent them a lot of stuff. It's long this time. Which, I mean, it makes sense. This one's taken me a lot longer to actually, like, film and everything. I've just been crazy busy. Life, you know what I mean? But biggest update, most fun update, our blanket shawl is getting very close to being done. I say that, but it's actually not really super, super close to being done. I have quite a few rows of the solid color that I want to do on here before it is done. However, I have switched to the solid color. I have switched my hook to the bigger hook size. I ended up with this nice little ball of extra yarn that I believe when I am done, because the way that I've been finishing these, I think when I'm done, what I'll end up doing is going back across this top edge with like some single crochets or something like that, just to kind of finish it off a little bit. And the way that I will probably end up doing that is by using some of this, because there's a pretty good amount here in this little ball. However, it is not enough to make a full go round of the entire thing again. And because it's not enough to do a full round, I didn't want to do that, because I didn't want to transition to the solid color while like in the middle of a row. I didn't want to do that. It's fine if you do want to do that. I just didn't for the purposes of this. I wanted it to be more like clean, like a clean break is how I wanted to say that, if I knew how to talk. So that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of what we're doing. My yarn testing otherwise has been all right. It's been going pretty good. I have quite a few things to talk about on that front. Excuse me. I have quite a few things to talk about on that front, but I'm going to do that a little bit later just because I want it to be more like cohesive, like all my thoughts in one place instead of having them more scatterbrained around like are in this video. So yeah, I want to do a much more comprehensive like comparison when I get the chance to. And before I forget, I also have come up with a little ear warmer pattern. I will say, once again, because I have shown another ear warmer, these are not great for my hair type, okay? Like, they are not the best for my hair type, but I think that something like this might be nice. I might add these in as another, like, knit option for people who like the knit look, but, like, have hair ties. Stuff like that. I don't know. Remember when I was talking about how I could only get this much done using the loosen threads soft classic yarn when I was knitting before I had to stop? I, in fact, was not lying. This is as much as I could get done. But it did give me a fun new product. So yeah, I don't have any ear warmers like this. I have the twisted ones, but those are crochet. And some people don't like the look of crochet as much. Some people prefer the look of knitting. So I figure why not have just both options? You know? Because I think I'll sell them for the same price anyway. Because of, you know, how long it takes, skill, all that good stuff. It's about equivalent making them. So, yeah. I think I'll probably sell them for the same price. Which works out beautifully because we like having variety. I like being able to have a variety of stuff that is available if you would like it. And I do want to at some point go through and like talk about everything that I actually make and sell because I feel like that would be a very interesting video for you guys. Just to like see the variety of stuff because I haven't really shown off the variety of things that I do yet. Even though like there's quite a wide variety and I kind of like specialize, I guess, in like kitchen related stuff. Most of what I sell is kitchen related or like very utilitarian, like you can actually use it for something. It's not just like a pretty thing, I guess, which if pretty stuff is your thing, or like, you know, things that don't necessarily serve a purpose, if that's your vibe, great. I just happen to have a lot of stuff that's more practical, because that's what I like making. I do kind of want to get into doing some, like, I think it's like fillet, I don't know, something like that, but it's very tiny yarn crochet stuff that makes kind of like a pixel grid two-tone picture thing. I'm gonna do more research before I talk about it. Let's be perfectly honest. I'm gonna do more research before I actually talk about it. But I do think with all of that being said and my lovely ramblings, I am going to say goodbye for this video. Leave me a like, leave me some comments, subscribe if you're new around here, which I'm assuming most people are going to be new or newer, or maybe you just didn't subscribe or didn't remember to. I don't know your life, but if you would mayhaps be so kind, I would appreciate any likes, comments, subscriptions, whatever that you are willing to provide. So, yeah. Until next time, see you later.